I finally discovered that the best way to watch a television show is to just binge watch it all the way through. That is the best way. So, everybody, I am David, and today I am going to be talking about Breaking Bad. Not just one episode, not just two episodes, but I'm talking about the entire series as a whole. Because I just binge watched the whole show, all 65 episodes on Blu-ray, and took me about a month, a little bit over a month to complete. I watched like at least 2, sometimes 3 episodes a day, sometimes 1 episode a day, and yeah, I finally completed it last night, and I thought, you know what? Why not do a whole review on the entire series as a whole? What did I think of it? First, I want to say this is an incredible show. I could have left that for the very end, but I just wanted to say that right now. From the beginning, you follow the story of Walter White and his partner, Jesse Pinkman. And I gotta say, these two characters work really well together. I really love them. Especially Walter. I love Walter's story. Seeing how he was a man who got cancer, whose life didn't seem all that great to begin with. And sometimes when it seems like it could be going his way, it just gets worse and worse and worse as he takes this life of crime by making meth, and yeah, and starts to become like not just a cook, but someone who can like master it all, who can maybe even create his own empire, which towards the end of the series he actually kind of does. I really think Bryan Cranston was terrific in this series. He definitely proved, from going from Malcolm in the Middle to this show now, it's like amazing how great of an actor he is. And now I can see why a lot of people wanted him to play Lex Luthor. It's funny because when he first shaved his head, one of the first jokes that Jesse says to him is, "Hey man, you look like Lex Luthor." And I was thinking, I wonder if fans said that because of that little joke right there, or just because he was bald throughout most of the series. But it was really cool. Bryan Cranston, you know, amazing actor. Now I can finally see what everybody was talking about, why everybody was raving about him during Godzilla, who I thought was like one of the best parts about Godzilla before seeing Breaking Bad. So, I mean, this is just solidifies what everybody's been talking about for me. A lot of the stuff with Jesse I really enjoy too, his storyline and how his life is all crap too, from beginning to end. It just gets worse and worse for both of these characters. Even though sometimes there seems to be some sort of hope once in a while, it just comes crumbling down all the way to the very end for both of these characters. Again, Jesse Pinkman, played by Aaron Paul, I thought he did a really good job too, and you needed him to do a really good job because, to me, Jesse and Walt are definitely the two main characters of the show. I'd say Skyler was a main character too, but I'll get to her in a little bit. But Jesse was like Walt's partner in crime, and seeing all the shit he had to go through as well, you know, not just, he lost 2 girlfriends in the entire series, which is really sad. And especially the way the last one went out, it's like, wow, man, this guy has bad luck written all over him. But you can see that Walt really cares about this kid. He looks at Jesse like a second son, and their chemistry is just perfect together. We also have Skyler, who is Walt's wife, and for a while, almost ex-wife. Like, she, during one part in one of the seasons, she wants to divorce him for a little bit and even cheats on him. And to me, that was probably the moment I hated Skyler. There was a moment between, at the end of season 2 and at the beginning of season 3, I hated Skyler. Just everything the character was doing, how she was pressuring Walt and all that, not getting out of his business. In some ways, I see her point because she is a concerned wife and looking after her kids. So I get that. But when she, to me, a cheater crosses the line, in my opinion. So I have trouble trying to forgive a little bit on that part. But I think she quickly redeemed herself in the second half of season 3 when she started supporting Walt a little bit more. And then season 4 helping him even more and more. And even by the end of the series, you know, you can tell that even though Walt had to do what he had to do by the end of the series. She let him see his daughter one last time, despite all the crap that had happened by the end of the series. And yeah, Skyler was an interesting character in my opinion. We also have Walt Jr., who is Skyler and Walt's son. Duh. And yeah, he's a good character, I'd say. He, is really loving of his parents, but really takes his dad's side on some moments, except towards the end, which is what was really heartbreaking, because like this kid who always looked up to his father, and Skyler was always worried that this day would come. And yeah, I didn't like the way that story ended between them, because I had wished that he would have looked at his father a little bit differently, especially after that last phone call that they had. But shit happens, I guess, and that's probably what would happen in real life anyways. We also have Hank and Marie, who are Walt's, brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Marie is Skyler's biological sister. Hank married into the family by marrying Marie. And throughout the series, I remember in the beginning, Hank seemed like someone that, this guy's gonna be like the bumbling idiot or something, who's never gonna, keep up with Walt. And that's kind of true, but Hank actually grew on me as the series continued, especially after season 1. And after he got that heart attack or that panic attack or something, I remember thinking, wow, Hank, seems pretty, he's determined to find out who this Heisenberg is. And I really liked Hank. And again, I was sad that Hank turned against Walt just like that in the final season, because to me, it just seemed like something that, I don't know, I felt Hank would have, family, maybe he would have tried to work something out. Not necessarily like a bribe or something like that, but like, I wish he would have been more, he felt like he was heartbroken, but at the same time, he felt like, you know what, I have to take Walt down no matter what. And that to me, it was kind of weird how that just shifted right away. And I don't know if that would happen in real life, or it would be more difficult for someone to like would they try to talk that person like, why would you do this? I don't want to bring you in, but I have to find out why you did this. And I don't feel Hank did that enough. I don't think he questioned Walt enough and tried to talk to Walt a little bit more. He just wanted to bring him in, bring him to justice, and that's it. And I guess Hank is that kind of character though. But to me, I wish, I don't know. It's because the show keeps getting, they make the situations worse and worse, but in a good way, in a way that you don't want to see it go that way, but it is, and it's like heartbreaking. And, oh man, the show is really intense. I'm gonna say that. I really love it because it really puts you on the edges of your seat. And I just feel there are some episodes that are like, okay, that was fine. That was a good episode. Like, The Fly was a fun episode. There was an episode with The Fly where Walt and Jesse are like trying to kill the fly throughout the entire episode almost. And I thought that was like one of the most brilliant ideas for an episode, for a filler episode ever, because it's like, man, they actually made this work. That could have been a concept that could have, if it was any other show, I think it would have fell flat and would have been a disaster. But because it was this show, and I think the writers are really good, they made it work. There was another one where Jesse and Walt were stuck in the desert in an RV, right? And they were trying to figure out ways how to get... And again, that could have been another episode that could have been really boring and it could have dragged. But the writers really made it work. And I really enjoyed those filler episodes as well. Sometimes there were a couple that were like, that was good. But for the most part, I kept giving these episodes 8 or 9s out of 10. There was only one 10 out of 10 episode that I gave. And it was the episode where shit... I think it was the third last episode where shit finally went loose. All crap happened. Walt becomes a fugitive because it was right after. It was the episode right when Hank was killed. And that's it. Things just changed. And to me, it was the most well-executed episode. To me, it was even better than the finale. I really enjoyed the finale a lot. Gave it a 9 out of 10. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. As a whole, though, I am going to give this series, the whole series as a whole, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was really good all the way through. Yeah, it had, like I said, the lowest scores I gave to some episodes were 8s out of 10. And if 8 and 9s are the most I've been giving it, to me, that is a solid job. And to me, as a whole, I think the show was one of the most perfect shows on television. And yeah, that to me, I'm pretty light. I'm pretty easy when it comes to television shows and movies and rating them. But when a show is really good, I don't think there's a lot of shows that, like, I have different reasons for liking other shows just as much as Breaking Bad. And some people might be surprised, why is that getting a 10? But this one, I can see why a lot of people really enjoyed it. And it really is a fantastic show. So if you haven't seen it, I know I've given some spoilers about it throughout this review. I didn't give too many. There's a lot of other characters in the show, like Mike and Gus and Tuco and characters like that, like, you have to, and Saul Goodman, I can't forget him because he just got his own spinoff. So yeah, I mean, check out this show, guys. It's a great show. And yeah, that's it, guys. So take care.